as we welcome you to another Power Fix and, of course, Ladies Room. For those of you checking in for the first time for the morning, yeah, you're really late. You'd have missed quite a bit. But, of course, we got more for you, so it's definitely good to have you back. And before we get into it, just want to take time out to say happy International Women's Day to women everywhere across the world. So let me just give you guys a couple seconds to come on into the room quickly, because I think there's some sort of delay lately. I don't know why. We're going to have to look into that. But as soon as you are here, just hit the share button. And of course, I'm going to have two phenomenal women inside our ladies' room this morning. And we're really going to live up to the name of Ladies' Room this morning as we continue to observe International Women's Day. Yeah, so many of you saying you're wondering what was going on. So just share the live as soon as you're coming in, all right? No need to worry anymore. Just making sure everything is set. Well, we got a very special guest in the studio this morning. And like I said, today it's all about International Women's Day. So we thought it fair that we bring one of the women power in studio this morning. She's been ducking from us for the longest while, trying to avoid this moment, but finally, like, there's no better day than today, especially after that fantastic weekend we had with other members of staff. We thought it best that, she really touched the mic finally on Power 95. So I am happy to have as my guest this morning, Mrs. Denise Langaigne, and of course we'll hear you more. She'll tell you more about herself and what we're doing. Dwight, it should be better now. Let me know if it's better now. Just give me a thumbs up if we're better now. Should not be having any issues. Audio in the studio. Okay, tell me now, and right, much better. I know my stuff. All right, so we're good to go now. So let me just take time once again to say good morning and, of course, welcome to Mrs. Denise Langaigne. How are you? Happy International Women's Day.
Good morning to the listening public, and happy International Women's Day to all the phenomenal women out there.
She's usually a lady of a lot of words. But there's something about the studio and mic that I say to people every time. Yeah, it seems easy. And they'll be like, you know what? Yeah, I could come and do that. Every day she's like, yeah, I could do a shift. Let me come and do a shift today. But you put them in front of the mic and then they're like, what to say, what to do? No, I'm not going to tell you what to say or what to do. Just be yourself. Be that amazing person that you are, and we're good to go. I know it looks easy. It looks like anybody could just walk in the studio and turn up this mic and, do and say whatever. But it's not. It's really not, especially when you've got the cameras on. But nevertheless, like with everything else, people listen to Power, they see us making moves, they hear what's on the radio, and they may not realize that everything that we put out, there's somebody behind it. There's a driving force. There's a team, a management team that, keeps it together. And Denise happens to be one of those that's definitely keeping the wheels of Power turning. She's a bit modest. She's not those that toot their own horn. So every now and again, we have to throw her there and do it for her. But she happens to be one of those who was very instrumental in from the inception of Power 95, being owner and all of that. So we had to drag her in the room this morning. So we want to talk a little bit about that. We'd have had husband doing his bit, so now she has to rep for the rest of the family. So we want to start with that, and of course speak on women in leadership position, and of course how she handles that, as well as being a mom and a wife. And that is what International Women's Day is all about. So just want to shout out all the women coming into the room and hit the share button. So let's get it going. So let's talk about your involvement in Power 95. You are one of the brainchild. You've been in radio before in another field, but this is something that you've always been a part of. And of course, marketing and all of that. So speak to us on that and what was the reason you decided this is what I wanted to do?
All right. Well, I just want to throw back a bit. I'm Denise. My mom is Jessie Langaigne. Jessie Park, sorry.
Park. What's your custom in the Langaigne?
My husband to Glendon Langaigne, and my daughter is April Langaigne. Just a a little insight into Denise. I went to Manjulu RT School. Um, After that, Wesley College, and just worked my way up on my own to here.
Self-motivated.
Right. Okay. So just a little piece back. In terms of power, in terms of radio, um, I started off in radio a long life journey, and then I went over into corporate marketing at one of the largest entity on island, and being in that entity, there were certain things you were looking for from the industry, and you were not seeing it, you know. So I just thought I asked one or two persons question. I think Aruna, I in the early stages I contacted you, and you know, I asked in terms of your ups and downs in radio. And from a marketing point of view, trying to get a job done for the company I represented as well, you know, there was little challenges. Outside of that, if you traveled and you go to different countries, you pass through hair salon, barber saloon, restaurants, and so on, you would more find you hearing radio from other islands, and you will hardly hear in Grenada in a restaurant, in a bar when you travel, and I always wondered why. So it was for those reasons, you know, I just thought there was an opportunity. Outside of that, in terms of the media professionals in Grenada, you thought you could have offered more for them, and hence I reached out to my husband, and it's something I love, something I have a passion for. It's about working with people as well. And I reached out to him and I asked him, what about radio? At the end of the day, he's IT savvy as well. So I thought if we connected both in terms of my experience in radio, my experience in marketing, and you know, wanting to help other people, you know, we could have moved forward and moved mountains. And I think long and short of it, I think that's where power came into, or radio came into it.
Now we're 5 years going into our 6th, and from the inception to now, what would you say would be, was your biggest challenge?
All right, I think starting off, and in terms of most of the folks that came in here with us, I knew most of them before. And when we started, and I calculated my age, I don't think any of them could have been my child. So in terms of the age difference, it wasn't that of a wide margin, and it was like, how are you gonna get through to them? How, you know, they came from different culture on island. You know, they're good at what they do, but I still think they have a lot more in them. And how am I gonna able to convince them to see that within themselves? And I knew it was not going to be an easy task, right? And so the hardest thing was getting them to buy into the vision and getting them to understand that, hey, yeah, I know you're good, I know you here, and I know you happy where you at, but you still have a lot to offer, you know? And convincing them, I think, was part of the biggest challenge.
And not only that, I think a lot of our staff had dealings with males or in managerial positions, and having to now, of course, Glenn being a part of it, but you so more being the face and, you know, the go-to person in terms of the day-to-day running of Power 95. How was that though? Having them come to you, and how was, you know, from the initial stage, how was that?
Well, it's most importantly in life. It's important to be humble and know your role. Um, Glenn is my husband. Um, my foundation. I grew up in church,
Mm-hmm.
and I also wanna go back to the fact that I heal up my mom because my mom has been my mom and my dad.
Mm-hmm.
So um, Glenn coming into the picture has been a great support structure for me throughout my life. You know,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he's been part of my journey.
For a
In
long
fact,
time.
yeah, a very very long time. You know, and I grew up in church as well, and you know, in terms of values and rules, you know, regardless of what, I have two brothers, so in case you find should I say boyish? But I grew up with brothers, and my brothers, I played a lot of boy games. I mean, I got my brothers at time to play the Chinese skip and thing, but I had to do the marbles and you know the little trees and
Mm-hmm.
so on as well. So I grew up with brothers as well, and however, you need to submit and you need to know when to draw the line, right? And with values and so on, and Glenn being the head of our household and so on, it's important that I acknowledge that and I push him forward or I prop him up, whichever one you would want to say. But it was always important to do that to support my husband along the way, and I continue to do that. However, um, Glenn is a great pillar to me. So I think he also has that motto, happy wife, happy life. So he always give me leeway to do, whatever. But
And supports whatever you do.
and
Mm-hmm.
support whatever I do.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't take that for granted and you don't take advantage of it. So whatever, I think we have an excellent communication relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing is too hard for me to talk to him about and
You know,
just to
they say
bounce it by
teamwork
him.
makes the dream work,
Yeah,
right?
so I think he's a good support structure. So as much as I'm given the task as a lady, and to move forward, it's not difficult. It wasn't difficult leading here, and the majority of folks being men as well. It was never a challenge. Most importantly, you have to set your goals, set targets, know what you're looking for, know what you're working towards, and once everybody understand the objective, it's usually easy.
And I'm glad that you mentioned that because, of course, it's a
Mhm.
ladies' room and it's a topic we always that's up for discussion and debate and what have you. And talking about submitting to your partner and knowing your role and knowing your place and stuff like that. And what you find is that a lot of well, let's for want of a better word, today's women tend to think that hey, if you gonna let the man lead, it makes you weak or no man should be in control of you or your home or whatever. They believe in the whole equal partnership or same level, same devil, whatever the case might be. But hearing you speak on, submitting and understanding and realizing that he is in charge of the household and it has worked for years. This isn't a today relationship. It has worked for years and of course branched over into a business from, you working with somebody, himself doing the same. And now you guys together as a partner making it work. For young women and those who probably are in relationships or married or what have you and probably have a hard time, having a hard time doing that, what advice would you give to them or to us rather in cases of listening to your partner, submitting to your partner, because this is something that a lot of women understand and know how to do. Think submitting means, giving full control.
Okay. Well, as much as I submit, I mean, everybody who knows me knows I'm strong-minded. I'm strong-willed as well. Glenn is strong-minded and strong-willed as well, and that's good because you have discussions, and sometimes you argue a situation or so, and there must be a right and there must be a wrong, but however, at times you have to know that, okay, let's leave this one here and move on. You got to know when to drop that. And to
Let's agree to disagree, kind of.
yeah, you have to. And sometimes you stand your grounds at time, but experience is the greatest teacher, because sometimes somebody give in and it ends up, perfect. And then sometimes you give in and it ends up, a little mess up. But it's always good, and it's always good to take a chance as well. Don't sit back. Regardless of what, if you believe in something, take the chance, go for it, try to do it. If you slip, you slide. You get up and you move again, right? Don't sit back and as women and sit there and wait for it to happen. Always try to see what else you could do, and you would make mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Most importantly, you identify your mistake, you learn from your mistake, and you move again.
And that I can say is one of her famous words to me. Whenever I mess up, that's what I always hear. You're not gonna sit there and dwell in the mistake, but you're gonna learn, take whatever you need from the mistake, and you keep it moving. So when folks ask, well, why are you, in a particular way, it's always important to have like a good support structure, a good support base, and women who can, tell you, all right, well, you're wrong, but we're gonna get it right next time, and that, I think that's one of the most admirable things about Denise, that you don't dwell in the negatives, but always, sometimes I swear, she'll get on your nerves, so be like, why are you always so optimistic? What keeps you so ever so positive? There are days when you're like, and you'll be like, chin up, and the famous word is God is in charge.
Yeah, God is in charge, one, and nobody's perfect, regardless of what. Look into the mirror. Always look into the mirror. You may want to accuse somebody, belittle somebody, but at the end of the day, all of us have fall short. Nobody perfect, But not us that's sharing bread as well, So yeah, that's it.
That's it. Now, on the weekend, we had a fantastic time, and of course, I've seen so many comments from pictures on videos that we posted from folks saying, what, we wish other employers would do and will take this initiative as well and find time, especially now in this COVID, and even before COVID. Let's be clear that since we started, this has been something we've been doing from the inception, finding time together, family day together, once, twice, 3 times per year, sessions, have people coming in and speak and motivating us, etc. So this isn't a one-off thing because of COVID. It's something that we do yearly, more than once per year. And we've seen, folks commenting, we wish, employers would do that, especially now in this COVID where, it's so, folks are frustrated. Folks are, there's the uncertainties, don't know what's happening, the job and the world, whatever, and people are stressed. And, taking the time out on the weekend, to come together again, you the entire management team, what was from the first time we did it, what was the reasoning behind doing that? And the importance, rather.
Okay, regardless of whatever business or so you are in, family, wherever, it's always important to stop for a while. Just stop, come together, just recharge. Take some time out, see where you are, see where you're looking to go, and then just move again. It's always important to pause, regardless of what. We all are humans. We all make mistakes. We all have strengths. We all have weaknesses. So it's important to pause and let's identify those. Look at it, put it under the microscope, and let's just see how we can move again. It's not easy. It's not easy right about now. Now is we're still going through a pandemic globally. So it's not easy, but yet still there are lots to give thanks for as well. And it's important to chart the way forward. It's also important to invest and develop your team, right? Regardless of how people may look at them in terms of, wow, them good, man, they're good, But as much as they're good, they need to recharge as well. They need to know that, hey, you guys are doing well. Despite these circumstances, despite this pandemic, you guys are doing well. Yes? So I guess that's the whole reasoning behind everything. Meet, put everything under the microscope. Let's recharge and let's power up and move forward again.
And I think that in
Yeah.
it, and I think that was the objective, and of course it was well met. Like everything else, like you said, there's time and place for everything under the sun, and we're not robots, we're not machines, we're humans, and sometimes you just need to stop and breathe for a while, because the energy the guys came back with on the Saturday, I'm like, we probably need to do this every every Saturday. It was really, really good. You felt the recharge, the energy was definitely there. All right, well, we're not gonna keep you forever, just warming you up, getting your feet wet, so next time we pull you back in, you'll be more comfortable. But I'm getting a lot of love for you in the chat. Good morning, Anto, and of course saying that you are a phenomenal woman, and indeed she is. So before we go, any final words? Of course, International Women Day. We have a lot of listeners, women who are listening. We have young women who are listening and probably thinking of getting into leadership position or being their own boss someday. What would you say to them from one woman and of course an entrepreneur to another?
Okay. Once you have a dream, go for it, right? Believe in yourself. Once you have a dream, go for it, and you can't. I mean, it's hard to say this, but you have to believe in yourself and believe in your dreams. There would always be distraction and distractors. But if that's your dream and that's what you believe in and that's what you're working towards, go for it, right? In terms of serving and service, you always have to remember you're working and dealing with humans, right? So in case foremost, when I'm dealing with my team, I always have to remember the humans as well, right? And in terms of my staff, I want to say thank you very much for your service. And I always say thanks, and people wonder why you
Always.
have to say thanks. But it's teamwork, right? It's a team, and I know I rough you all up at times, but it's because of the love. I love my team.
The thing is, you said earlier on that, when you looked at the age difference
Yeah.
and what some were close to you, and
Yeah.
there was nobody that like your daughter's age. But the
Yeah.
thing is, I think each and every one of us can say that we feel like you're our mother, because the way sometimes it doesn't even have to be about, it's not only about work. You're interested in our lives outside of work and interested in how we can better ourselves and motivate ourselves. Sometimes when we see someone like Slick would say, you know what, let me pass fast before she see me because he knows you're gonna get a pull up somewhere somehow, get a pull into the office and sit and chit chat and stuff like that. I don't think many employees have that sort of relationship with their employer. You only get pulled in when you probably do something bad or wrong, or you mess up. You don't get the compliments. Or I'm sure there are lots of employees who can say they've never heard thank you from the employer ever for anything. And hearing you guys have definitely changed the landscape in terms of employee relationship, and we also have to say thank you for that.
You're most welcome. Yes, so I want to say I love my team. To all our supporters, listeners out there, thank you for listening to us as well. To our customers, those folks who took the chance with us, we appreciate you. Thanks for your business. Thanks for keeping us alive. Um, to all the phenomenal women out there, just continue to try and help every day. Continue to be you. Continue to push forward. Continue. People recognize you, they recognize you. So just continue doing what you got to do. Remember who you're serving, and move forward. Continue pushing ahead. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. Really appreciate you. And of course, we're not just saying this because we are saying it because it's genuine. All right. So thank you so much. And of course, we appreciate you all the time. Guys, don't go anywhere yet. We're through with Denise, but we have Sabrina in the room as well. And today being International Women's Day, we've got a special song from Sabrina, a brand new song to commemorate the day. And of course, not just for the day, it's a song that we can play every day to lift us up and, make us feel good as women. So let me just bring in Sabrina one time. Good morning, Sabrina. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
You are so welcome. Happy International Women's Day. How are you
Same,
doing
same.
today?
I'm great.
I'm great.
It's been a good day.
Great. Great, great, great. Well, like we said, we have a beautiful selection. Probably just going to play it in the background while you tell us more about it. And for those of you joining us, of course, Sabrina is no stranger to Power 95. And, her music definitely is a staple here as well. So thank you so much for, doing this and recognizing the song and lovely video as well. Really, really love the visuals. Yes, yes. Thanks so much for that. So, Kareem, just pull up the song for me. Let me get it in the background. There's an echo. Let me see. Hold on. Someone says there's an echo. Echo. Hold on. Probably on Sabrina's end because we were fine. Okay, let me just. Tell me, is it better?
You heard when I speak?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. Someone says you're echoing. Let me know if you're getting that echo still.
Concentrate, and nothing better than self love. Call your crew, staying up till morning.
There's an echo. Yeah.
Any better?
No, it's really bad. There's an echo on your end.
Okay, well,
Hold on, let me see if it's still there.
check.
Yeah, it's still there.
Okay.
So I'm good on my side, so it's on your side. So you probably have to go out quickly and come back in.
Okay, let me do that quickly.
Yeah.
Stress behind you. Can't be wasting time, my lord.
Yeah, so probably you need to put on your earplugs or something, Sabrina. And then we'll come back for a couple minutes just to tell us about the song. And then we're good to go. How are we doing now? So while we await Sabrina, again, thank you so much, Denise. Finally got her in the chair. And folks often ask you, well, how do you do it? It's important. It's always important to have a good support structure. And not just any and anybody. Gotta be somebody who can tell you when you're doing wrong, when you're doing good, when you're messing up, when you need to pull up your socks. And when you got those, and you don't need a whole lot. 1, 2, 3, or 1, whichever amount works for you. You're good to go. Yeah? Sabrina, it looks as though we're going to have to put you in another day because we're still getting that echo. I don't know why.
Can you hear me?
We're fine a while. But the echo is on your side and Sarah gets really bad.
Okay. 1 sec.
Yeah, so something is wrong. All right, but we're almost out of time, so we're gonna have to probably have to do this. Just gonna have to check the schedule again to see when we're available, so we can do it again. All right. We don't want to mess up the good vibes we had earlier on, so we're gonna pull you in another day when we get it right. And you be in studio, all right? So when you're in studio, you can actually perform the song. So let's get it together for another day. Thank you so much, guys. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place for another ladies' room. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. And thank you so much to our friends at Beacon Insurance and Western Union for making today's ladies' room possible. Thank you so much, Denise Langaigne, for checking in. And we'll catch you tomorrow, same time, same place. So we're gonna have Sabrina in studio to actually perform the song because it's a really beautiful song. Yeah.
All your crew is staying up till morning. Free up yourself, pure vibes alone. My love, save it for later. My love, give it. My girl from the islands. I see you in motion, colorful as can be. Why not?